Hello, everyone. It is December 30th, 2020. 2020 has been a rough year, but I'll tell you what, we're going to put a positive spin as we possibly can on it by talking about all the great things that happened in our world in meteorites over 2020. Have some of my close meteorite buddies with me online, and we're just going to jump into it. So, as always, these are sponsored by Topher Spin Meteorites, and we want to be your source for all news meteorite related. I do have a guest video to kick us off. We're going to summarize everything that was important to us in 2020 that happened scientifically and meteorite wise. Our good friend who joined us last week, I got his name written down, Maxime Denoncin. He's from Brussels, and he sent in a video because he couldn't join us today. In Brussels, it's 3 a.m. Thanks, Marco, for joining us from Germany.
And Donald.
Oh, Donald, it's what, 5 p.m. for you or something like that?
No, it's only half past midnight.
Oh, okay.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so Donald's in Australia. So we have a good mix of people.
I'm in Scotland.
Oh, Scotland. Oh, you know what? I'm thinking of
Dave Nelson.
Dave Nelson. I think he is at work time or something like that.
Yeah.
So let's go ahead and kick the hang off with this new video from Maxime. All right, here we go.
Hi everyone, Maxime from Brussels, Belgium here. I hope you're all doing great and you're all enjoying the hangout and the holidays. So today, as this is the last hangout of the year, I wanted to show you some specimens I have in collection coming from this year's finds and falls. So let's begin, and I hope you'll enjoy them. So okay guys, let's begin with the first fall of the year, which is Zub. So it fell in Pakistan in January and is classified as an H34 chondrite. In total, 4 fragments were recovered for this one, representing almost 19 kilograms of material. The specimen you see here arrived a few days ago, so I'm really late for this one. But anyway, it is about 30 milligrams. Then the following meteorite is NWA 13202, which is a metal-rich ungrouped chondrite. It was found in January, and it is quite nice because we are used to ungrouped achondrites, but way less to ungrouped chondrites. On this small slice, you can see the metal-rich regions surrounding the silicated regions. It is a very small slice, and I wish I could acquire a larger one, but it will probably be for next year. The next one is a nice little L6 chondrite that fell in Kenya in April. So this is Gatuto, and 25 kilograms of material was recovered from this fall, including a 6.2 kilograms stone, which is the main mass. And when it fell, this main mass created a 3 feet deep impact hole. Then comes the probably most important find of the year, Archech 2, the beautiful kryptonite. So this one is quite mysterious, and I wonder if there will be more information on it in the next few years. Anyway, it is probably one of the strangest and most beautiful meteorites available now. I really love it because each slice is unique and shows incredible features. The 3 slices here represents approximately 2.5 grams. They are not the best slices from this find, but I think they are quite representative, so I like them. Now let's jump to one of the most important fall of the year, Kolang. Kolang fell in Indonesia in August and was the first ever CM12 observed fall. What you see here is a 1.48 grams fragment coming from the hammerstone that hit Joshua Hutagalung's house, and some micros also coming from that stone. So, as I am a carbonaceous chondrites lover, this is clearly one of my favorites from this year. Then, last but not least, we have Tarda. So I think we would all agree on the fact that this is probably the strangest fall of the year. So it fell in Morocco in August 2 and is now classified as a C2 ungrouped. So it is a really incredible meteorite due to the fact that the mass was divided into thousands of small subgrams fragments during the fall, what is quite unique, I think. I also heard it may be somewhat related to Tagish Lake, but anyway, it is clear that it is a very primitive material. And to be honest, I'm really impatient to see what will be published about this one in the next few years, because it seems to be, scientifically speaking, a very important meteorite. So what you see here is about 1 gram of material. So that's it. I hope you enjoyed the various specimens I've just showed you. And of course, every fall from the year are not represented, simply because I don't have all of them in my collection, such as Santa Filomena, for example. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed the video. And also I wanted to wish you guys a happy new year, and I hope the next year will be better than this one. So yeah, have a great hangout and see you very soon on another hangout.
Awesome. Maxime, thanks for checking in with us. We appreciate it, buddy. That's pretty cool. Yeah, so some of the new falls were showed off there. Who here has what that they can share of those new falls? We'll start with Pose.
I've got them all.
What?
If you wanna, I mean all the I think all the witness ones, right? Santa Filomena, Kolang, Tarda.
There's background
Zob,
noise
and
coming
Gatuto.
from somewhere.
No,
Thank you,
it's
sir.
me. Sorry.
Yeah,
Watching Star Trek in the background.
I'm not gonna hold that against you.
It's all good. So yeah, if you want, I can do a quick actually
Well, I'll tell you what. Why don't you show us Kolang?
all right.
Because Kolang is definitely one that I do not have.
Yeah, I'm actually really sad because this one is actually getting sold.
Oh my gosh, that's a good thing though.
33.6 grams. It'll be an institutional sale, so that's pretty cool, and it smells really good.
Wow,
So it's got dirt from impact, crust. You can see the inside.
that is awesome.
That's huge.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
Well, it's really good that it's going to an institution.
Yeah, it's I ended up finding, I expected it to be like a display meteorite, like something that was gonna get, shown to the public, but I was told that chances are it's gonna get used for the sciences, which is still really good. But I also have hold on, let me flip this around. This is Gatuto with some crust.
That's a nice slice. The Kolang, it's a beautiful piece, and meteorite lovers can appreciate it. But as far as a display at a museum, it's not eye-catching and popping and big enough and understood enough to really be worthy.
Appreciated, yeah.
Yeah.
So that's a little piece of Chech. They're kind of all over the place. I guess I can get them put together a little bit.
I have them all put together over here. Well, not all of them, but some of them. Yeah.
I have Santa Filomena in there. It's a little individual. Santa
Filomena is special and important to you because you were actually there.
Yep, I went there about 4 or 5 days after the fall, and I brought back about I think it was like 800 grams.
Yeah.
My Zob.
Now, Santa Filomena happened in Brazil on 8/19.
August 19th. It was 6 days before Tarda and 19 days after Kolang.
Wow, that's a big slice of Zob.
Yeah. And then I also have Tarda. My Tarda isn't huge, but it's good enough for what I want, and it's got crust and everything on it. So, just a sec.
I'm very fortunate to have some nice examples of everything that we're talking. Well, not everything, but pretty much everything we're talking about, with a little help from Mark Lyon. So he may be joining us today.
Yeah, that's a 4 gram individual.
That's nice.
Crust. Yeah. So I think that's it. Gatuto, Jo, Santa Filomena, and Kolang.
Yeah,
But
those are the obtainable ones.
yeah.
Because oh, go ahead.
Yeah, I also this year for highlights, I also got to hunt Weston, Indian Butte, and the Fireball over New York over but nothing was found in any of those. However, I do have a piece of Weston with an integer number, and I just got
Now Weston is the first witnessed fall in America.
Yep, the first U.S. witness fall. These are all witness falls. So I have like Park Forest, a Hammerstone right there. I have Weston, Peekskill, also a Hammerstone. Ash Creek back there. Mifflin, Ethersville, Berthoud, Indian Butte, Pena Blanca Springs, Homestead. We got Holbrook back here, Leedy, Battle Mountain, Portales Valley, and then Norton County in the back.
Wow.
So these are all witnessed U.S. falls.
That's awesome. That's quite a collection. That's beautiful. Roberto, thanks, man.
Yeah.
And we appreciate you I mean, even though you might have got skunked 3 times in a row, man, it's not because you weren't trying hard enough and working your butt off out there and then freezing your butt off in New York too, man. You got that cold.
Yeah, and at the end, Santa Filomena was successful. So I think what I found is that it's a numbers game. So you go out there, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 times, and 1 or 2 of those are going to be successful, and that kind of like does it for everything else.
Yeah. Keeps you going monetarily and spirits up.
Exactly. That's my wall of successful hunts. So I have Barnstable. It's me in the strewn field. I have Santa Filomena, me in the strewn field, and then last year's Aguas Arcas, which was also in the strewn field.
I love it.
That is amazing. I wanted to be as quiet as I could while you were talking. I don't want to steal the camera highlight. Those are beautiful shadow cases too, man.
Thank you.
Yeah, I absolutely love when people do displays properly. Like Ron for sure. So that was another thing that happened over this year. Ron Metchis taught us how to build backlit displays and made a bunch of cases. Now there are some unobtainium falls that happened this year. One is Cavezzo. It happened in Italy, and it's 55 grams, so you ain't getting none of that. Gatuto, Kolang, and then Jesse Piper, Shinu in Japan, 350 grams, so no one's getting any of that. Nova Mesto. Now the Nova denotation means the location is can't be proven. It's unknown, but it's potentially Slovenia. 720 grams, so there's probably not going to be any of that. Then there's Santa Filomena, Tarda, Zobe, and one other one from Brazil, a 400-gram eucrite called Tyros. So I doubt you're getting it.
Tyros didn't fall. Did Tyros fall this year? Or was it found this year?
I did a quick print off of the Met Bulb information, and it says fall in the year 2020, but I don't know if that's when it was updated, so we can look into that. But
yeah, hopefully I got them all for this year for the falls too. But hopefully there's that one in China that's potential and might not get found this year, but hopefully it turns up, and that'd be another cool, hopefully large fall from this year if it turns up.
yeah, that was a huge fireball over China, and it actually broke into fragments, and you could see up to, I think they counted 12. Does anyone know any more information than that? The last I heard was they counted 12 major fragments that were illuminated after it broke apart. So there's definitely stuff on the ground there. I don't want to, we have a lot to go through because like I have a page of stuff, but I do want to stop and appreciate the beauty of some of these meteorites. So if you will entertain me for one moment, I'd like to show you some of the 2020 falls that I have. So this is Zob, we were talking about, from Pakistan. And I don't touch this, but I will for you guys today.
Nice crust.
Super, super fresh.
Absolutely.
And my camera does not like focusing this direction. There we go. Yeah. So this is Zob, and it's classified as, well, I don't have it in front of me right now. L56, something like that. H3, sorry. So that's Zob from Pakistan. Then this is my Santa Filomena kit. This is actually a tile from the hammer house, or from the neighbor's house, and a beautiful 70-gram Filomena, Santa Filomena. This one is exquisite, in my opinion, because it shows not only the natural soils there, but also brecciation. So this is my pride and joy of the Santa Filomena fall. Beautiful flow.
Is that a shock vein in there?
Yeah, it's a shock vein or an iron vein. It's an H5, so it's very possibly that it could be an iron vein.
Actually, it can be both.
There you have it. It goes all the way around, though. It's kind of weird. I don't know if you can tell. It starts, let me get my patent pending pointer / dental pick. It starts way down here, goes all the way down here, around, up in here.
Wow.
So yeah, but a beautiful, beautiful fall. And it's super special because it was not collected, but picked up in the field by a friend of mine, Roberto. I'm sorry, this was Raymond Barjas.
Was that one side a shallow red maglet?
This right here?
No, on, yeah, keep it.
Right here?
Yeah, yeah.
It's a regmaglyph or just some softer material that blew out.
Okay.
Looks like secondary.
Yeah.
Yeah, bubbled up.
And that's where you also have this secondary fusion crust on this side here. It's obviously not weathered or water damaged because it's beautiful white.
Amazing piece Topher. Wow.
Say that again?
Amazing piece Topher.
Oh, thank you. Appreciate it. Yeah. So that's my Santa Filomena with tile. And I think that really completes the set. Now, this next one is on loan from Mark Lyon. So if you're interested in purchasing it, I'm sure he'd be willing to discuss a price with you. But it's a Tarda that my wife always puts together for my birthday and for Christmas, a meteorite experience. She and Mark get together. He gives her a bunch of cool things, like 5 or 6 things, and she makes a whole display for me and makes an experience, and I get to pick one. This is one I didn't pick, but it's not because it's not worthy. So this is Tarda just shy of 3 grams. I would say a damn near complete individual, showing beautiful orientation and flow. And the back of it is absolutely blue, translucent fusion crust.
Wow.
Gotta love it.
Look at that. That is like that is the dream of Tarda is what you're looking for right there.
Awesome.
But I passed on this. So it's available. It's part of the Mark Lyon collection right now. He allowed me to keep it for a few extra days past Christmas to share it with the crowd. So this is a great example of Tarda when it exploded into a myriad of pieces. This is what the little pieces that rain down look like, and you really do see the orientation and flow through the entire piece.
Yeah,
So just a hell of a nice piece. So that's Tarda with the iridescent blue. All right, let me remove the spotlight. And here. All right, who wants to show something off? Nobody? All right, well, let me hit pause for 1 second.
We're kind of going over new things. I do have a classification.
Yes.
And Matthew Stream and I went to actually, I bought a piece from Mustafa. I've got, my screen looks strange. Mustafa Heaney, and then I got a letter or an email from Matthew that he had bought all the rest of the pieces. And he said, "You want to get it classified?" And I said, "Well, duh." So
I have a feeling we're looking at NWA 13635.
you got it.
Nice.
You got it. It's an H6. You can tell I've got my little shiny cube magnet. I just keep on it because I do. Really fresh crust, nice. And he sent me a picture of it cut. I'm seeing if I can get it to sparkle a little bit under a high light here, but yeah, lots of metal in it. You get a really good cut on it. It looks damn near like a mesosoderite. It's got so much metal in it. So I have my one piece. I've already had people contact me. Are you selling any of that? I'm like, no, this is kind of, I'm waiting on a couple others, but this is, I want to keep this. I remember when I opened the package from Mustafa, I got several pieces, and I was really, this is the one that got my attention because other than being a little dusty, it's very fresh. You can see
it's a little blown out there in the light, but
yeah, I know. I'm sorry. Actually, you know what? Let's see if I can do handheld cam. And it does it.
That's way better. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Focus.
Oh, there we go.
Focus, darn you. Let's get it in the light so it can kind of focus up a little bit.
Now, Martin, isn't this your first entry into the Met Bull?
This is Met Bull #1 for me. Thank you.
Congratulations.
Well, it was totally unexpected. Like I say, I was just going to sit on it, and then Matthew said, I bought the other 18 pieces of that. So it was just kind of a happenstance, but I'm a happy one. I'm glad to know what it is, if nothing else. I knew it probably had to be an H of some kind, because it was just, oh gosh, Magnus would just draw right up to it. So I just thought I'd share that. Thought that'd be kind of fun little thing. And that was
one of the items on my list.
How many grams is yours?
This is about 7. This is 695.3 grams. Not that I memorized it or anything.
Yeah, I got to 205.66.
Oh, really? Oh, you got, cool. Yeah, Matthew sent me a picture of his box.
It's like a piece of charcoal. But this one has no cuts or breaks.
Yeah, the break in mine, I kind of like that. I get to look inside it. That's a super piece too.
Yes.
Wow. Well, it's fun. It's fun to see people buying pieces of it from Matthew and enjoying it. I get a big kick out of that. It's fun people getting a brand new fresh something like that off the desert.
Yeah, and there's only less than 3 known kilos of it. 2.913.
Yeah, that's right.
Yep.
I added it up myself.
We have a lot of things that that went down this year, and I was hoping he'd be on with us, but he's not, so it's his loss. It's not our game, but it's everyone's loss, I guess. Mr. Mark Lyon and Roberto Vargas actually is very highly involved. I don't really know the business arrangement, but I know that Roberto is extremely, extremely involved in the Meteorite of the Month Club.
Yeah, so that was actually, it's a joint venture. We alternate months.
And we actually have no need for you to talk anymore, Roberto. We don't want you. We're having a live check-in. Of course, we're all live. We're going to do a little check-in with Cameron Smith. Cameron is our designated Topher Spin Meteorites reporter on location. Can you tell us more about this developing story we hear with the Meteorite of the Month Club? What did you get?
I was just gonna do the year in review on a subscription. If you had subscribed back in January,
it's like $50 a month, right?
Yes.
And you've been a member all year long, so we're going to go through the 12 months of the Meteorite Club. This is awesome.
Exactly. So the first month was NWA 12971. And it was, as far as I know, is the first lunar troctolite melt. I know it's the first. I meant to say, as far as I know, it's the only one still.
Yeah, it is. It's one of one.
February was a nice big hunk of Vinales.
Ooh, nice.
Show that again for a second. This is the scary part of meteorites from a dealer's point of view. When this fall happened, I happened to be in Tucson at the Tucson show with Stephen O'Mara, and we were so fortunate to grab a 9-gram piece at $60 a gram. And we were so proud of that little rock. It was 18 grams, and we cut it in half, 9 grams a piece. But now the price has obviously come down quite a bit if that's what you can get for the Meteorite of the Month. And they're beautiful.
Yeah, I was ecstatic. Let's see. March was NWA 801. I hope you can see that armored chondrule right there. There it is.
Nice.
801 was cool because it was had the sugars.
Yeah.
Yep.
And wasn't it released? Like, wasn't that like when the whole news was breaking, everything? It was like a hot meteorite, and it still is, obviously, but
yes, it was very talked about.
Yeah, that's
and then a piece that showed up in my mailbox, and it was amazing.
And that's a beautiful piece too. That's not seconds.
It's been a highly studied meteorite for a while.
April was Zag. Zag was cool because it has halite crystals.
Mm-hmm. That's the month I started.
Let's see. May was NWA 6704, and somebody smarter than me will have to explain all of the giant words.
It was
an ungrouped achondrite.
Yeah.
I know that much.
Yeah, it's an ungrouped, unshocked achondrite.
So got 1.3 grams.
Which is amazing because it was selling. It was selling for over $65 a gram, like 2 months, 3 months previously. Yeah, those are beautiful. Under magnification, that is some just wild, outlandish stuff. What it actually reminds me of a little of is the atomic bomb stuff.
Trinitite?
Yes, exactly. It's beautiful.
Let's see. The June meteorite of the month was Benenitra, which Madagascar's only had 2 meteorites. They're both witnessed, and this is half of them.
I cannot believe that is. Wow. I have a few Benenitras, but they're whole stones. I've never seen the inside of it.
Gorgeous.
Let's see. Ergcheck needs no introduction. I do have to qualify this one because Roberto graciously sold me a gram of Ergcheck, and then was kind enough to tell me that ahead of time, swore me to secrecy, that the meteorite of the month was going to be Ergcheck, and he just so happened to have a piece that was the sum of the 2 pieces that I would have gotten otherwise.
That's awesome. That's pure met bro love right there.
Yep.
It was, and yeah, and I still greatly appreciate that. So my piece of Ergcheck is a gram bigger than what would have been the regular meteorite of the month. Installment. Let's see. July was Norton County. It's an Albright. You all know Norton County. Mine glows a little bit.
Jeez.
Nice.
Oh, wow.
Wow.
There you go.
Much better than average. Most of them don't have that much.
Beautiful.
So
fluorescence.
Is that still the only one that we know of that fluoresces?
Like that?
Well, no, I mean the only known meteorite that.
I think there are other Albrights as well, and then of course very terrestrialized meteorites have caliche veins, and those will fluoresce.
I heard Bishopsville.
So yeah, that was
spectacular.
3.7 grams of Norton County.
The Norton counties are cool because they had the numbers, the museum numbers on them individually, I think, too.
Yeah. Oh, they do. They do. Yeah, mine's got a gold number there on the back.
That's what makes them so sexy.
That's an incredible specimen.
Absolutely.
So, yep, meteorite of the month. Let's see. We got, when I got it, it was called Satahi Nauli. We now better call it Kolang.
And what's cool about a lot of these meteorite of the months, if Cameron, I'm sorry to trounce on your feet if I am, but Mark Lyon is a prolific meteorite dealer, wholesaler, and classifying submitter. So he happens to be one of either the main mass holder or a significant mass holder, a specimen holder of all of these things that he offers, pretty much.
Yeah, not the Norton County one, and not the 6407, but I think most of the rest of them, you know, I kind of got from the source and tried to classify or be part of the, you know, Met Bull at least.
That voice you're hearing is the man, the myth, the legend himself, Mr. Mark Lyon. I did not see you join us.
Well, how could I not? I heard you were doing the meteorite.
Well, awesome. Yeah, so that's really cool to have a published meteorite under the pseudonym or the lab name or the working name or the provisional name. That's super collectible.
Well, to add to its coolness, this is also part of the hammerstone that hit Joshua Hudolung's house.
Wow.
So
nice.
But because this was, I mean, I know this is tiny, and you know, it's $50 a month. So there was actually 2 that month. That's the one. And then this is Santa Filomena. This one didn't hit a house, but it hit like 6 feet from what was that guy's name? Lawrence Douglas. Oh, he's got several other names. Laurent Douglas de Lima Cruz.
That's the month
So-
I joined. Yep.
So we got both of those in
Wow.
September.
That's crazy.
Let's see. October was the reduced CV3,
Mm-hmm.
which was really cool.
So
Let's see, we got
carbonation.
3.4 grams of that. It let's see, it was NWA 13385. And it's a 1 of 1.
That's phenomenal. We had a bunch of 101s this year as well.
Let's see, November was Tarda, which doesn't need any introduction there. Of course, you know, my little bits in this light don't do well, but as far as I can tell, I believe there is rollover lip on all 3 of these.
Nice.
I wouldn't be surprised.
And then let's see, finally, I don't know if you're going to be able to see, it's all metal.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
This is a H7. It's NWA not yet determined, to be determined.
Wow. It
That's
looks like there's some melt in there too.
H7
Like an
is
H7.
yes,
It's
that's what it is. It's completely, almost completely melted. I have scoured. I don't know that there are any chondrules. If I might have overlooked some. I don't know. But yeah, this is Craig Slyman's 31st classification.
Wow.
So that
basically, by definition, an H7 shouldn't have any chondrules. That's what kind of makes it a 7 as opposed to a lower grade.
Yeah, the more
Phenomenal.
metamorphosed grades will still not rarely, but will still show, they call them relic chondrules.
So as far as my falls this year, I've got a little bit of Gatuto. I got a 16.6 gram piece of Santa Filomena.
Sweet.
Crusty.
Raymond Voorhees very graciously threw in a piece of broken ceiling roofing tile.
Mm-hmm.
I want to mate ours up and see if they complete each other.
I got this little piece of Zobe. It had some crust on it. And then Mark Lyon asked if I wanted to buy this piece with some more crust on it, and I kind of
had to say yes.
Yeah.
Twist your arm.
Right. He drove a very hard bargain in the form of a picture. So I got a piece of Tarda, little oriented shield. This one's claim to fame is that I beat Pat Brown to it by 3 minutes.
Oh man.
So that's its street cred. Is that
Nice.
it would otherwise be in the
That's
Pat
like,
Brown collection.
that's like $25 a gram extra right there.
Exactly.
This is not a shameless plug for my company, but I have Tarda sand samples from the actual Tarda strewn field.
Right.
So those are a really good. There you go. I have more sand now. So next time I send you something, I'll include a big sand, and it's a really good way of showing your Tarda, kind of like a faux in situ picture.
And this didn't fall this year or anything. It just happened this year, and it was important to me. This is my first classification, NWA 13521.
Awesome.
It is an L5 with a shock value of 3 and a weathering value of 3. A total known weight of 585 grams.
Is that a secondary crater?
Is that an impact on this side that's showing?
Turn back. That's a
Yep.
secondary impact. Oh, neat.
That's kind of what it looks like, yeah.
Yeah.
This is my original sticker there.
585 grams.
Yeah, congratulations.
Thank you. And yeah, that's all I had.
That's awesome, Cameron. And that was your first entry into the Met Bowl as well, correct?
Yes, sir. Thanks to winning the raffle at the Meteorite Mansion.
Oh yeah, you know that happened this year too. That was another positive thing that happened this year. Most of us were able to meet at the Meteorite Mansion down in Tucson and spend some time together. I'm gonna kick it over to Mike Kelly. I hope I don't steal any of his thunder, but because Mike is a class fanatic, he loves going after every single little class. Wanted to mention, we already mentioned a few new classes that were given out this year. Another new one is a CO 3.1 anonymous, and that's NWA 11889. Only 75 grams of that. Now, I don't. We're going to go to Pat, and he's going to hopefully show off his rare one. But there was also a new LL4-5 melt breccia class given out this year. That's an LL4-5 melt breccia. 650 grams total known weight. And guess who owns that one? Mark Lyon. That's NWA 13328. So I think it's super cool to have, be on the cusp of science, bringing new meteorites to science and getting new classifications and understanding the transition between meteorite classes even better. And we actually we're doing that. When I say we, like people here, our group, this is awesome. Another new class that was given out this year is a OC5 anomalous. Anomalous. Thank you, Oz. Anomalous. So an OC5, ordinary chondrite 5 anomalous, and that has 265 grams of total known weight. So those are a few of the new classifications. So let's go to our class leader.
We had mine too this year.
What was you have a new classification on a new class?
Yeah, it's my first personal class was 13519. It's an L3-5, one of 19 genomic.
Oh, that's absolutely right. The genomic. Sweetness. Go for it, Mike.
234 grams.
Sure. You had mentioned a couple things. So you had mentioned, and this ties in with a lot of the different stuff I have out here. You mentioned, Tarda sitting on Tarda sand. So if anyone wants to know what that's going to look like,
there you go.
Go to Topher. And again, I got to thank a bunch of people on the Zoom that, a lot of these pieces came from Roberto or Topher or other folks who call into these things. So it's a great way to build community. So that was that right there is my little set of the 5 major available falls within 2020. So there's starting out with Zobe, nice little piece with some crust on it. See if I can get the glare down. There it goes. And then of course Gatuto. So this was kind of a cool piece. This was one of the fragments that was found on the road. And this one is really doesn't have any rust going on to it. I know they found a couple more fragments like the next morning, and just the dew alone had already oxidized it.
Yep. I have to jump in and piggyback on you because our buddy John Higgins at Outer Space Rocks did a knockout job on the packaging, and I mean it is beautiful. The printed material that comes with it, a fridge magnet, everything is just, he really knocked it out of the park on that. And those hammerstones off the street are super cool because, and that's why I bought a few of them as well. They came out and saw these white marks on the street and followed the white marks and found the rocks right then and there.
And it's a bit of a conundrum too, because it's not part of a breakup. It's just those little bits of fragments that were found. Nothing else was turned up, that it was broken off of anywhere nearby. So yeah, that was a little bit on the road.
That's been discovered yet.
Yeah, true. A little bit of Santa Filomena from Roberto. Same thing with Kolang, and obviously Tarda. You had mentioned, doing things at the Meteorite Mansion. So I was crazy enough to drive over from Wichita Falls, Texas overnight to be able to spend a whopping 1.5 days at the Tucson show, which was my first major show. So 2020 was a good year. Picked up a bunch of small little unclassifieds and had the joy of doing my first wet saw cutting there. So this was a cool little piece that has basically a shock vein as the back planar side.
Yeah.
And a couple other cool little interesting pieces that got cut up there.
That's
so
beautiful.
Opportunity to see beautiful stuff. Do you talk sister slices and sharing and everything else? So Cameron, my birthday meteorite buddy slash partner in crime, was there when I cut this one, and I gave him the other half of it because he was looking for an armored chondrule, and that had a nice little armored chondrule there. It's hard to get the light to hit off of it, right?
Oh, yeah.
So it's fun to share with buddies. Other kind of big things for me in 2020, we had Stephen J. Amara Jr. on the other time, and he was nice enough to show me the site and help put me on my first find. So that was my first find ever of a meteorite, which happened in 2020. And
Congrats,
to wrap it up, since we haven't talked about this yet, it's yet to be, I guess you would call it, adjudicated. But they're saying they found two proteins, not amino acids, full-blown proteins in two different meteorites out of a study in Harvard. It's pre-published right now, and it's got to be validated. But one of them was in Acifer 086, and the other was in the ever-present classic and still incredibly scientifically important Allende.
Yeah.
So there's my little bit of Allende that article made me think about.
That's cool.
I still have my half there. Wonder Twin Powers activate.
Oh, that's awesome.
We got one more to go.
That is so cool. Yeah, that's one of the great things. I'm glad you pointed that out about like the Meteorite Mansion and just this community of friends in general is, like even Oz and I, when Oz came over my house, we cut a rock and, it's an ordinary chondrite. But to us, man, ain't nothing ordinary about that at all. And let me show you something that Maxime talked about in his video, and we actually have Mark on the phone or on the line with us, who's the main mass holder. If we're talking about things that are, we hear the phrase ordinary chondrite all the time, and it kind of annoys me because nothing's really ordinary if it's from space. But this is definitely not an ordinary chondrite.
Oh my.
Amazing.
Starting to drool.
That is NWA 13202. It's a ungrouped chondrite. And the thing that's really cool about this, Mark Lyons, whoops. That was my 10th anniversary present for my wife, and doesn't want to focus on it. But there we go. Yeah, it was my 10th anniversary present from my wife. There's only 1.4 kilos of it, including everything that's paired with it. The super interesting and weird part about it is obviously the metal content. It has 75% metal.
Wow.
Whereas your normal H chondrites, which are your stony chondrites that are higher in metal than LL and L, those usually top out at 23 to 25, maybe 28% at the most. So to have something that's pegged in the 70 and have chondrules, just so unique that when this was offered in my as I told you, my experience my wife does with Mark every anniversary or Christmas, this was one of the things, and I was like, that's mine. I'm snagging it. Something so rare and from the main mass holder. I mean, it's that to me, it's a no-brainer. Absolute no-brainer. Does anyone have something they'd like to show? Mr. Pat Brown, perhaps? If not, I have something.
The unmute. Yeah, keep going. When you're ready, we can change over to mine.
Topher,
Well,
can I say hi to everyone?
Oh, hold on. Who's that?
Steve.
Mr. Amara.
What's going on, guys?
Hello, hello, hello.
I'm a little late. I apologize, but I couldn't miss this one.
Let me see here. I'm trying so hard to get you highlighted.
How you doing, brother?
Dude,
Good.
doing wonderfully, man.
What's going on, guys? I wear a mask all day, so my beard's like a little buck wild right now.
Yeah. Well, one thing that happened in 2020 is that shirt you're wearing, the Meteorite Mansion, man.
Yeah.
That was
Meteorite Mansion.
that was such a great time, man.
It was the best.
Yeah.
I
So
can't wait to get back to Tucson.
yeah, one of the things that's been brought up, and I'm always open to suggestions. So if you guys have a suggestion for a topic for a hangout, like this topic for our year wrap up, which seems so stinking obvious, was actually given to me by Maxime. He's the one who said, "Hey, I was thinking about making a video. Can I make it on this subject?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I'm gonna make the whole hangout about that now." So if you have a subject that you want to discuss, bring it to me. If you have a video that you want to produce, bring it to me, and we'll get you shown. Especially if you're overseas and it's not a good time for you. But Stephen Amara, always a pleasure to see a meteorite lover like yourself, man.
Dude, it's such a pleasure to be on this.
I like your thin sections through the microscope.
Thank you. I'm getting I have a linear polarized lens that'll be arriving on the 6th of January. So
Excellent.
So we'll be able to see those vivid colors very soon.
And
unfortunately, that's the only thin section I have, but I'll be ordering a bunch of thin sections soon as well.
I don't want to overstep my bounds and put thoughts in your mind that don't exist, but I'm just gonna go ahead and read your mind through my webcam. You would not have, your beautiful, wonderful, awesome girlfriend would not have gotten you this amazing microscope for the holidays if it wasn't for two things. Matt Brown, Meteorite Mansion 2020.
Bang, bang, bang. Absolutely, brother.
Yeah, when we were at the mansion, I think everyone fell in love with microscopes.
Definitely. I couldn't believe, I just couldn't believe how amazing all the thin sections looked on Pat's beautiful microscopes under cross-polarized light. That was just incredible. And the stereoscopes with all of our meteorite samples that we brought home from the show, it was just incredible, man.
Yeah.
Everybody was just huddled around them looking at everything.
Pat Brown is a positive influence on everybody.
Yeah.
Whoever got up first turned on the lights on the microscopes, and they pretty much stayed on all day and well into the evening.
Even in the morning, too, with a cup of coffee.
Your eyeballs feel like they're sticking out 3 feet, and they feel like 50 grit sandpaper.
It was definitely a great time, and so one of the subjects that was brought up for suggestion for a hangout, at least to bring up in detail by Pat Brown, was what are we doing for the 2021 show? Is there going to be a show? All that kind of stuff. How much of it is going to be there? So Pat and I will be working behind the scenes to bring that to you. But for now, I think I'm going to kick it over to Pat.
Okay, thanks everybody. So, this is a new webcam that I just found at Costco, and usually their stuff's pretty good, but I'm not sure I like this one. Well, it certainly doesn't do close up very well, and it's not handling the low light very well. There's a lot of noise, but anyhow, this has been a very black rock filled year for me. This was kind of my Christmas present to myself from Matt's stream, and this is 3 pieces of a probably CO type meteorite, but it's a really odd one in that it's got gobs and gobs and gobs of little chondrules and not a huge amount of matrix. And the macro look of it is very different than most carbonaceous chondrites. So that one is interesting. And then in addition, well, that's not focusing where the hoot. In addition, he sent the XRF data for this one. And so I've launched into a project to learn more about X-ray fluorescence. And it turns out there's several different schemes that all have different advantages and disadvantages. This one of the three rocks is actually pretty cool. It's oriented, and instead of a real smooth front side, it has a ridge down the center here, and then a sloping side off each side, and then the back with some shallow regmaglyphs.
You got rollover lip?
Yeah, there is a rollover lip. It's not super pronounced, but there is
Right.
one long. Well, actually, you can see it pretty well there in the reflection.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Nice
So,
one, Pat. Great.
say again?
A nice piece, Pat.
Oh, yes, thank you. And then this is another one, also from Matt via eBay. This one is this one definitely is a fairly normal looking CO3. It's provisional, not classified yet. And very normal looking chondrules for a CO3. And that one I got off of eBay for a steal. And I have XRF data for that one as well.
Does it have contraction cracks?
Yeah, this one has some cracks in it. They're not contraction cracks just in the fusion crust. They go much deeper than that, but there definitely are some cracks. This one's got some terrestrial weathering on it.
Mm-hmm.
Normally, the cracks that you see that go into the rock are weathering cracks versus just the ones that are less than a millimeter in. Those are the contraction cracks.
Right. And they have two different etiologies too. The deeper cracks are from bits of metal that rust and expand and pop open existing cracks or weak planes within the meteorite. And the contraction cracks in the fusion crust are because the thermal coefficient of expansion of the fusion crust is a lot less than the or more. Anyhow, it's very different than the bulk rock, and you wind up with the crust pulling itself apart. This one, and I have shown this one at least on one other video this year, but this is a CV3. No, it's not classified yet. Just from. It's not going to show it, but there's some nice little regs.
Yeah, fluted regs right there.
Yeah.
Regmaglyphs.
Beautiful.
Yeah, this camera is disappointing. And then another one from Matthew's stream, which is really an oddball. And again, I have XRF data for it as well. And it looks like a possible CM, but it's very fresh and has a lot of metal in it. And so there's some possibility this might actually be a CM2, which would be pretty spectacular. And then this is another purchase from from Tucson this year.
Like that.
I recognize that, bud.
Yep. Hasn't been cut yet. it doesn't really show it. Yeah, I'm disappointed with this camera. But this thing is almost entirely chondrules that are mashed together with just a tiny bit of matrix between the chondrules. And yeah, Stephen was looking at this one at Sahara Overland, and he kind of decided against it. 732 grams, and the asking price was $2.50 a gram, but Stephen managed to talk him down to $2 a gram.
Yeah.
And then set it down, or handed it to me, and so I bought it at $2 a gram. So that one's going to be fun to cut open. And then this one you guys have already seen, but it
God.
gonna have to back up.
That's huge.
That's sweet.
Jeez.
This one is.
We just saw a meteor fall.
Look at
It's
those
witness now,
legs.
Pat.
Oh man.
This one is one that I've shown before on the Hangout, but it's around 8 kilos. None of my scales go that high, so I don't know what it is. But after playing with it, after the last Hangout that I showed it on, it actually displays really well from this from setting on the stage in that on that surface. So I was blessed with a very rock filled 2020, and I even got a lump of coal in my stocking.
All
Thank you,
I got
Tucker.
was a rock.
Oh, one other preview. I finally got my package from China with some really interesting reflected cross-polarized light rigs. And so, Stephen, I'll be talking with you about one of these
Awesome.
soon for your other microscope.
What is that, mounted right on the objective lens, or is that does that go on the light? Oh, okay.
Yeah, and it has LED lights in it, and you can use it with or without the internal polarizer. And so for Stephen, it's going to get mounted on this microscope. It's got a bit more work. Work to be done on it. These are the wrong eyepieces. I'm going to swap over to some eyepieces. But
that's spectacular.
Yeah, and it's on a really nice little base. This is fairly similar to Toper's microscope. Oh, and Toper, I got enough of these reflected cross-polarized light rigs that I've got one set aside for you as well.
I'm super glad you said that, because I was going to keep you spotlighted on video and make you commit to fixing mine.
It's on tape. Yeah,
that is amazing.
No turning back now.
I can't wait. Hey, Topher, I got a question. Am I screaming? I have no idea.
No, man.
All right, cool. You guys want to see contraction cracks? I mean, weathering cracks, not contraction cracks.
Okay.
Go for it.
Oh, wow.
These are weathering cracks.
Yeah. And it is amazing how opened up those cracks can be and the rock still be stable.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Although
look at
you might
this.
not want to saw it. Look at
it looks like it would want to just like tear right open. But
yeah.
And this actually, I mean, so this is a rare earth magnet. Well, it's stuck right there, but most of the meteorite, that's the first time I seen it stick to this meteorite, because every time I put it everywhere else, it just falls right off.
So it's got some zoning in it.
I think it's a low metal meteorite, but that didn't just prove it right there.
Well, during 2020, there were 8 new pallasites added to the Met Bowl. And one of those pallasites belongs to me
That's
and
right.
Oz.
Yep.
And as we know, it is the NWA 13579. This is the showpiece of the collection right here. It's not the main mass, but it's by far like the most gorgeous piece.
And I own a piece of it as well.
So
Thanks
this
to
is
Topher.
I was so happy to see it go to people that I know and love, because you kind of get attached to a meteorite, especially when it's a classification in a palisite, and it's just a beautiful, beautiful
Absolutely.
meteorite.
And
So
especially with people that you know.
yeah,
It's amazing. I cherish my piece, and I'll grab somebody by the arm and pull them over, and I'll talk their ear off about it.
and
a really interesting, if I might, Topper, a really interesting tie-in, if you want to show it again, an interesting tie-in to my new classification is Daniel Shake was talking about the phaolite number, and that is the percentage of manganese in the olivines. And the olivines, the one that's green there, kind of in the upper right of the field, that one has more magnesium, and the amber ones have sort of an intermediate amount of magnesium, and the darker brown ones have less magnesium and hence more iron.
you can really see the green in that one.
Yeah. So that shows a variability in the phaolite numbers for those olivines. And Daniel, if you're listening, I hope I haven't butchered that too badly.
Yeah,
that's absolutely beautiful, man.
Thank you. It's so beautiful, absolutely so beautiful that, let me see here. I think I need to highlight this camera.
What I like about that one, Topher, is the angular crystals that are in that palisite.
Yeah, it is. It's right there on my wall.
Wow.
It's not in focus, but yeah. So that's it right there. That's how much I love it. It's one of the ones I have on my wall.
Absolutely.
You're a palisite geek.
Yeah, man. So that was one of the 7 new pallasites. I'm sorry, 8 new pallasites that were added to the Met Bowl, and combined, the total weight of new pallasites was 4 kilos, 4.24 kilos. Now, continuing on my classifications with Oz. My phone does not want to focus all of a sudden. Hold on. But this is a very out of focus Gurara 003.
That's gorgeous.
Flow veins.
Yeah, nice flow lines.
That's the Eucharite of the year. That should be published in Meteorite Times.
I'm making the offer right now. I have the main mass. It's 2.44 kilos. If anyone or any institution is looking for a showpiece of a Eucharite with super thick flow, glossy fusion crust reminiscent of Tierhurt, the list price on the main mass is $30,000. But I'm able to negotiate and obviously work with institutions on that.
That's beautiful.
Yeah, I would really like to see it go to a collector who's going to leave it whole, or a institution. But this is the inside of the monomic. And for some reason, my phone wants me to be out here, which is fine. I can always zoom in. So really nice eucritic features. You'll see the I need to find out what exactly this is, but I just call it the creamy dreamy part. Yeah. The
Oreo
creamy
cookie.
Exactly.
It's the creamy dreamy part of the Eucharite. Yeah. So and this was actually classified by Daniel Shake, our I'm going to call him our partner over at Florida State. So he did the golden pallasite as well as my Gurara eucrite. And with that, I hold the main mass with Oz Backman as well as Jason Bliss. So those are my 2 new classifications for the year. And on January 8th, I have an appointment with Joe Tower to get them added right here.
Cool.
And a few of us have been talking about it for weeks and months, almost a year now. And we've all kind of challenged each other and threw it out there, but I'm doing it. On January 8th, I'm getting the WOW symbol. And if you don't know what the WOW symbol is, Google it. It's going to be right here with the WOW symbol. Wow. So Alpha Centauri is in the news again, and they're getting new communication from that area. So we'll see what comes of that.
I got to turn down my transmitter.
Nice. I have a few other examples that I can show off, but I definitely don't want to hog the spotlight. If someone has something they'd like to show, by all means, jump in. And I'm pausing for 1 second. Hey, Marco from Germany. How are you?
Hi, guys.
Hey there.
Yeah, guess what I have here?
Oriented meteorite.
An oriented meteorite.
Yeah, they are not from this year, but I would say they are worth to show. So let me try to switch through on the other camera. Here we are. So the first
By
piece
the
I
way,
want to show you today.
before you get
this.
started, what did you think of Pat's oriented monster?
Yeah, absolutely fantastic, of course. No question.
You wanted to steal it.
Absolutely amazing piece. Yeah, this piece here is a little bit smaller, only 70 grams, but it shows a nice heat shield form, and it has a really weird feature on its backside. Look at that.
That's a nice rollover lip.
Ooh.
Looks like Cameron's.
Beautiful.
Yeah, a little bit, yeah, not that boat shape.
Yeah.
But to be honest, I don't know what that is. Is it a big chondrule, or maybe you have some ideas?
I think Pat did a.
Could be a large iron inclusion.
Yeah.
Maybe, yeah.
I have a Canyon Diablo with that same kind of feature.
Yeah. Think
That
here
is
on
wild.
that view, it looks a little bit like that UFO or that spaceship Independence Day.
The mothership.
That's the White House.
You might want to check it with a magnet and see if you get more attraction in that area.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
some of
that's what I
the
get with that.
Franconias that we found had iron inclusions that looked like raisins in a cookie or chocolate chips, rather than the usual distribution of blebs. It could be like that.
Hmm.
I like that dome shape.
Yeah.
To it. That's sweet.
Yeah. That's you got a nice eye, Marco.
The second piece is this one here. Let's get this in focus. Oh, it's not so easy.
Is that a diagonate?
Exactly.
Wow.
It's not classified, but I'm almost sure that it is a diagonite.
Yeah.
It shows nice flow lines here on the front.
Mm-hmm.
And the backside is almost more interesting because it has this glossy fusion crust.
Totally.
Sweet.
Wow.
It's almost completed. Here we have some chips, but yeah, almost complete.
How did you come across this one?
Oh, I bought this one in Ensisheim at the Ensisheim show, I think, 2 or 3 years ago.
Okay. And I'm just curious. Do you recall if it was listed as like a potential diagenite or just an NWA chondrite or?
I listed it as a NWA chondrite with possibly diagenite.
Okay.
But look here, it's in German, but yeah.
Okay.
I call it NWAXX. A friend of mine said it is possibly paired with NWA 8000. I'm not sure about that, but I wrote it here on that sign here.
That's interesting. I also love the fact seeing foreign labeling like that with the comma, not the decimal.
And last but not least.
Oh boy.
Wow.
Oh.
Oh.
Wow. That is.
It's about 2.2 kilograms. And it shows a nice fresh crust here on the front side. And also you see on that piece where it is thick in the ground. So this piece or this side of the piece was in ground and here exposed to the desert environment. And you see that erosion on that piece. That's really interesting, I think.
Marco, I'm just letting you know, if you need a place to warehouse that, my home is available.
Yeah. Wow. Oh my God, that is remarkable. Look at those flow lines.
Thanks, Joe.
Yes, beautiful.
Oh my God. You can read, and people always ask us, and Marco, this is a great example for you to bring out for us, the terrestrial wear line that you pointed out. People always ask us, well, why are there so many meteorites found in Africa? They're distributed evenly over the planet, but they're preserved better in the desert. And this is a great example of seeing a preserved side versus an exposed side, even in the most arid and you know, maybe it's a little bit sandy, sand blown, but it's a very good environment for a meteorite. And still, look at the wear line. The terrestrial wear line is evident. So they just don't last long elsewhere. That's gorgeous. Let me see that. That is gorgeous. Thank you so much.
Yeah, that's what I wanted to show you.
I just want to stare at that angle for a second. Wow. That
Very nicely displayed on the turntable, too.
Absolutely.
Thanks, Pat.
Where did you find the turntable?
On Amazon.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And I think it's China stuff, of course, but very cheap.
Huh? Cool.
Maybe $30 or so.
Yeah. I wish I had larger samples that I needed turntables all the time. If anyone has something to show off, just wave frantically at the camera or pretend you're choking and one of us will see you. I do want to show you a new one of one from this year. And this is upside down. This is a new one of one. It's a mesosiderite B/3. I don't even think I have it correct. It's a, wow. Yeah, it's mislabeled here. It's a B2/3. I'll have to fix that. This is the only one, and this is the main mass. It's an absolute beautiful, beautiful piece, and it has a nice inclusion in it. So you can see it has a nice mixture of olivine and silicates, usually in about a 50% mix. But this, look at that. It reminds me of Bondoc. But just a really beautiful, beautiful meteorite.
Yeah, nice etch.
It's outstanding.
Every time you look at a mesosiderite, you appreciate it deeper and you see things you didn't see before, but you kind of wouldn't know from the outside.
Oh, yeah.
It takes a trained eye, and I don't have that eye yet. I'm working on it, but just a beautiful, beautiful piece. And I'm super, super fortunate and lucky to have in my collection until a mesosiderite lover who has to have one of everything, like Mike Kelly comes along. This will be in my mesosiderite collection until said date. So that's a new one of one from this year as well.
Your piece is just a little bit more impressive than my piece of that one.
Yeah, you have, but it's from the same stone, so
it is.
We're Met brothers.
Yes.
Here's two versions of the same meteorite. We've already discussed this meteorite today, but it's kind of like one of the most interesting meteorite. Well, I shouldn't say it's one of the top five. So, I mean, you got Kolang, you got Tarda, and you got Ergchek. Those are like the three real interesting, scientifically important meteorites of this year. So what I'm showing you right now is my personal slice of Ergchek. And this was cut from the type specimen at ASU with provenance from Mark Lyon. So this was actually a 40-gram piece, I think, when I started. And I did a live sale, and basically I snapped off pieces. And as people bought a piece, I snapped off another one until people stopped buying, and I had just over 20 grams left. And I said, that's enough. I'm stopping there.
That thing amazes me. It's like if you cut it in a circle, it'd be a lollipop. It's so amazing.
It's funny you mentioned the shape of a lollipop. No, because a lot of people are slicing it, and it's absolutely gorgeous when sliced, very complex and unlike anything we've seen before. So we don't know the parent body of where this asteroidal material came from. So that's what is exciting about what we do, being in meteorites, is a new thing comes along like this, and we're basically involved in trying to figure out where this stuff came from. Here is another one that I think is super special because everyone wants a cut one because they're so beautiful. And when you cut them thin enough, they're translucent, and the chromium dioxide crystals are translucent and glow green like kryptonite. So I wanted to make sure I got one that was uncut, so I at least have an uncut specimen. And
that's a beautiful meteorite, but boy, it's caused us all sorts of trouble on the is it a meteorite page and the meteorite or meteorong page.
Yeah, because it's not your typical, it's nothing like what we've seen before. This right here is the chromium dioxide crystal that I was mentioning, and those are translucent when present. As you can see, there's been some that have fallen out, but this happens to be my piece. It is, let me see, just under 38 grams. And whoa, earthquake. And I don't know if it has orientation or if it's just that shape, but that's what I have. So this is what a Ergchek stone looks like, and you're very commonly going to see the Ergchek 002 slices like this. And there's a beautiful crystal right there and right there.
Awful lot going on in that slice.
Yeah, it's a very complex and very interesting meteorite that we still need to learn a lot from, to be honest with you. So I'll put that away for now. Yeah, let me see here. I have two more things that I wanted to show off, and this one here is my Gatuto. Now, this isn't the John Higgins outer space rocks hammerstone. Whoop, I highlighted the wrong one. This is a different one. So I didn't get all the fancy packaging and everything that came with it. But this is 21 grams. And what's cool about this, we were talking earlier about being met buddies or met bros with people. This one has been cut in half and shared with my buddy Oz.
Nice.
So I'm going to not take this out of the packaging because that crust is just precariously on there.
And it crumbles pretty easily, doesn't it? It's very...
Yeah. It's very friable. That's why I don't want to.
That's the word I was looking for.
Yeah, and this one is actually super unique. I don't know if I can get it on camera, but yeah, there it is. See that metal?
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Wow.
Is that troilite?
I'm not exactly sure what it is.
Somebody was soldering over it.
Yeah, well, you need someone with a little bit higher mineralogy experience and knowledge than I have.
It looks.
Yeah, Marco, I think
metal.
that's a very good possibility that it's
Yeah.
troilite or another related sulfide.
I think so, huh?
But
Because it has that golden color and yet it's still very reflective and metallic looking.
Yeah.
Wonderful.
Yeah, I was really super happy to get this piece. It's got some really good crust on it. And Oz and I went in half on it, so we split it down the middle, and it's super fresh. So it was definitely not rained on. It was picked up right away. As always, has my personal collection number on it and provenance. So that's part of my my collecting, is everything has to be labeled as completely as possible, or else you lose track of stuff. All right. Does anyone else
that
have
had a
any?
pretty mild shock value to it, didn't it?
Yeah, I don't think it has. It's a shock value of 2.
Yeah.
Let me see here. Now, we're gonna throw this out there, and who has the closest guess? How many? Oh wait, hold on. We got John Higgins in the house.
I have a huge announcement to make, guys.
John Higgins himself of Outer Space Rocks.
I have a huge announcement to make. This has got to be the best diagonite since NWA 3143. This thing has got the largest orthopyroxene crystals I've ever seen of any diagonite meteorite.
Whoa.
It was recently found in North Mali, currently being classified by Anthony Love. It's pretty major. I haven't seen anything like it in years.
What is the total weight you have of it?
So far, the total known weight is about 6 kilograms.
Wow. And the next question I have is offline. How do I get it? No, that's.
Contact me PM, guys. PM.
Look at that.
According to Anthony, these are the largest orthopyroxene crystals he's seen in any meteorite. They're pretty amazing.
You can see the structure of them.
Yeah, it's a new discovery. I want you guys to hear it first here on Topher's Hangout.
That's awesome, dude. Thank you.
That's amazing.
Wow.
Man, I love the meteorite, John, but I love the bear too, bro.
Yeah. What?
Thank you, Steve.
Dude.
So I don't know. Have you ever seen orthopyroxene crystals this big?
No.
No. It's almost larger than the crystals that grow on Earth. So
Wow.
I mean, it's got to be from a large parent body. I mean, I don't even know if it's from Vesta or something else bigger.
Do you have a slice yet? You must. Keep it a secret.
Have you sliced any yet?
You guys can contact me for slices.
Wow. This is what I'm talking about, guys. This is what I'm talking about. Welcome to 2020. We're turning it back into a success. I love it. Yeah, I'm glad that John's able to join. We mention John every single week here on the show, and he graces us with his presence once every 6 months. So, yeah. But I'm definitely going to be. I'm going to be wanting higher res pictures of that online. That's going to be phenomenal stuff. And I'm wondering how translucent those crystals are going to be if they're cut.
I don't know. I haven't cut it thin yet.
Oh,
They'll probably be nice dark green crystals, right?
They're not olivine, they're orthopyroxene. So it's more of like a reflective crystal than a translucent crystal.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I'm very interested to see that. That's fantastic. So, late breaking news on Topher Spin meteorites. Out of curiosity, who thinks they know roughly how many meteorites from Antarctica were entered into the Met Bowl so far this year? In the last 365 days, to be 100% honest, in the last 365 days, how many meteorites have been entered into the Met
I'm
Bowl
going to say
from Antarctica?
14,000.
Not a clue.
Dude, put down the crack pipe.
300. 300.
A lot more than
1,400.
you are so damn close, John.
Yeah.
1,544 meteorites have been added to the Met Bowl in the last 365 days that have originated from Antarctica. And when I looked at the distribution of what type of meteorites they were, it's very evident, and it follows the bell curve of what we expect. A lot of L's and a lot of H's, and then a lot of LLs, and then falling off to the rare stuff and brecciites, winoites, and all the Martians and rare stuff. But it's amazing how many small things they actually were classifying. And there we go. I had some echo back. That were like 2 grams or 1.6 grams or things like that. Now,
but Topher, just to be fair, those are, when they do the Antarctic ones, those are pieces. So if they find 10 pieces next to each other and they're all the same thing, each one still gets its own number.
Okay.
That's correct. They get their own field numbers, yes.
That is exactly why I worded the question the way I did. If you watch it on YouTube, you'll realize I asked the question properly. How many meteorite entries were made? Bada boom. No.
You want another puzzler? Another puzzler, Topher, about Ansmet meteorites as a whole, or Antarctic meteorites as a whole?
That's what we're here for.
So we have roughly 60,000 meteorites in the Met Bowl, and of those, somebody want to make a guess what percentage are from Antarctica?
Of 60,000?
60,000, yeah.
Easily 45%.
75%.
You guys have pretty well boxed it between those two numbers. It's right at 2/3. So there's roughly 60,000 meteorites that have been classified, and of those 40,000 are from Antarctica.
Give NWA a couple more years.
Now, I'm telling you right now, give Chile a few more years.
Yeah,
Chile,
the Atacama is a very interesting area, and some of the Russian dudes have been doing some pretty good work there. There have been some interesting announcements in the last day or two as well about some of the newly found meteorites there.
Really?
Yeah.
Can you share anything with us?
Well, Timur has already posted it on several of the pages, but when he was looking through the assumed ordinary chondrites, he found one that was a real devil to cut.
Yeah.
And,
as soon as I saw it, I knew. I looked at it. I said, "That's a Eurolite," right away.
Yeah. Yep. and he's got it over to the lab, and they've started looking at it, and they've already found microdiamonds in it. So
Nice.
Now, see, that's why I was asking Marco earlier, did you find that one in an NWA bin, or was it marked as a NWA diagonite? Because when we go to Tucson, I mean, that's obviously the goal, to go through the NWA bins at 30 cents a gram for all the rubble, and go in the bottom and pick out that 3-gram lunar and go bada boom.
well, something with that kind of fusion crust and that beautiful is never going to wind up in a bin.
Yeah.
Hey, Topher, it was not marked, that piece. It was not marked, that piece.
Yeah. I have one more interesting fact. How many, now I'm going to ask this question properly, so listen to the question I ask. On the Met Bull, they publish a lot of lunars and Martians and chondrites. My question to you is, how many meteorites from Mars were published last year?
7.
I'm going to guess it's in the high teens someplace.
That many?
Yeah, there's been a bunch of them recently.
You guys are, I think, answering a question that I'm not asking. The question is, how many meteorites from Mars have been added to the Met Bull?
Oh, yes.
Ah!
8.
2 different ways to look at that.
Yeah. 9 meteorites have been identified on the surface of Mars as the planet Mars as a meteorite on Mars. And they are now in the Met Bull. If you look in the Met Bull under location, you can see, you can actually sort it by, I want to see meteorites located on Mars. And they're not Martian meteorites, because you cannot have a Martian meteorite on Mars.
Right.
I see 15 from Mars. I remember when I saw the 2, one was named Hadley Rill, and I thought, what the heck? And so I looked location, it said Moon. You know, and then I looked up location Moon, and there were 2. It came from the Apollo missions, and that just blew my brains out when I saw that.
Yes, some of the Apollo return samples amongst that 300.
Yeah, there were 2.
Kilos, were some meteorites. Yes, and then they also identified some bits and pieces of meteorites impacted into the lunar rocks, because, you know, with no atmosphere, the ordinary meteorites hit the surface of the moon at orbital sort of velocities, so, you know, 25,000 miles an hour and up.
Well, there's that famous picture, I think it's from Opportunity, where they have a picture of an iron, obviously. It looks just like something one of us would have sitting on a shelf. Iron meteorite on Mars, and you look at it and think,
you're
wow.
Hold on.
I wish I had it.
Yeah, you are talking about Meridinium Planium 006. It has been identified as an iron IAB complex, 240 kilograms.
Yeah, it's a decent sized stone.
And the thing is, obviously, Mars doesn't have as thick of an atmosphere, so the ablation and the effects on the meteorite entering the Martian atmosphere and landing on Mars is totally different than the science behind, or the math behind, it landing here on Earth. It goes through way less weathering, or way less ablation. I've heard that depending on a meteorite's composition, you know, anywhere from a cosmic mud ball like a carbonaceous to an iron, you lose anywhere between 80 and 95% during entry. So
it will depend on how old those meteorite strikes are, because Mars did have an atmosphere once.
If you'll let me share my screen, I've got the picture of it up here. It's really kind of amazing. If anybody's interested, only if anybody's interested.
Yeah, sure. Now, Topper, you said a total of 8 or 9?
9.
On Mars, 9.
I get 15 when I look through the Med Bull. Now, was that just this year or
Did I not sort properly? I'm looking for approved meteorites from the found on Mars in the Met Bowl.
I show
I'm only showing 8.
I show 15. There's
Hmm.
Aeolus Mons 1 through 1
But
through.
when was it approved?
Oh, you're talking about this year.
Yeah, this is a 2020 rewrap, guys. Come on.
Trick question.
We've been doing it for 2 hours.
Trick question, man.
Yeah. Actually, it was a very simple question. How many meteorites from Mars were published on the Met Bowl in 2020? Simple question.
I didn't answer it right, so it's a trick question, man.
So I have ticked all the boxes off on my massive checklist with one exception. One of my good friends is Juan Aviles from Jurassic Dreams. He was a sponsor, as well as John Higgins from Outer Space Rocks and Stephen Amera at Space Matter. We're all sponsors of the Meteorite Mansion. So I think it's only fair because he is in either Spain or Morocco. I'm not sure where he's at quarantine wise, travel restrictions, but he is a major player in the meteorite world now as far as getting stuff classified, and he literally got his first one classified in 2020, and I brought it home from Tucson. When we were in Tucson together at the Meteorite Mansion, he didn't want to bring it back to Spain yet, so I said, I'll store it at my house. You know, we offer to store meteorites. We're not joking. If you want to store a meteorite at my house, I'll gladly store it for you. I kept this 5-kilogram monster in my house for a couple months. Then I sent it to him, and he got it classified, and it's his first classification. This is Tazarine 002. So it says gift on there, but it wasn't really a gift as much as he left the meteorite with me, and I have a saw in my house.
They are handy. Or like a rent sort of situation, then?
Yeah.
Well, the devil made me do it.
No, in all fairness, he did tell me I could take a sample off all of the rocks that they left at my house, but this is the only one I cut one off of. So, but I thought it was a real interesting piece. I knew it was going to be in the H class. I didn't see a whole lot of man, my phone's really struggling today. Didn't see a whole lot of chondrules, but still a beautiful piece. When you get in the right light, you can see the chondrules. But it had a natural cleave. So the first 2 slices broke upon that natural cleave. And these were actually attached to the type specimen that went to Chris Hurd at, I believe, University of Toronto. So that's my buddy Juan Aviles from Jurassic Dreams, his first classification. And he's about to
got his second one.
He does? Is it the lunar?
Well, I said I think I have his second one, NWA 13376. It just came out last month. It's an LL3.
Oh, nice. Yeah, oh, let me go to you.
Yeah, my camera sucks.
Yeah, webcams are good for faces. Yeah, that's all. That's a big slice for LL3.
45
Nice.
grams.
That's beautiful. Yeah. So I thought it was only fair to show off his first classification. Yeah. So, all right. Let me hit pause for 1 second.
See it?
Yep.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
All right. What are we looking at, man?
That's right up there.
That's the beast.
The one you're talking about. Yeah. That's what is it? 240 kilograms. I think it said.
Yeah, 240 kilograms.
Yeah, and there's part of opportunity right there, but you're actually looking at a meteorite in situ, iron meteorite on the Martian surface, and that just fascinates, amazes me.
Yeah,
just amazing.
I want to find out how they got the weight on it. or the mass on it.
Yeah.
Well,
It has to be just
they could
just
calculated.
They could do very precise measurements.
Yeah.
They can
I'm
get
sure
just
it's
the
an
slightest.
educated guess from
Yeah.
a 3D model, but they don't know what the bottom side of it looks like.
That's
Yeah.
true.
And what's really weird is up at like 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock, all the way to 7 o'clock, looks kind of like, and looks exactly like I'd expect it to without going through a whole lot of the atmosphere. But then you have that big like cavity there.
And it's smooth. It's extreme.
Yeah.
It looks like you're looking into a diorama of the surface or something. It's really odd.
Martian slag.
Yeah, yeah.
Obviously, a lot of blowing dust there. So
I guess that's it. But and it smoothed it down, possibly.
Yep,
Sandblasted
that's
it
quite
down
possible.
to a smooth surface.
Wow.
Anyway,
In
that's just,
the very upper right-hand corner,
yeah.
is that a faded white ink spot with a number?
Ninja was there.
Wouldn't surprise me.
Ninja got it.
Yep.
Him or
That's
Monica,
awesome.
either one. Okay, well, I'll stop. I just thought if people hadn't seen that, it's just
Yeah, no, I
that's
appreciate
amazing
that.
to me.
Hey, Ben,
Yes.
did you have whoops?
Oh,
let
you
me
were
see
going to
here.
get Stephen first.
Oh, let me see here. Where's Steven at?
I'm here. I'm just
You gotta turn your camera on, homies.
dude.
There we go.
I'm looking for that beautifully oriented scotoline I got off of you, and I can't find it.
Oh man.
But anyways, I have other stuff I could show if you want to give me a sec here.
Yeah, sure. Let me pause this for 1 second.
So I've already been. Do you want me to repeat that?
No, you're good, Daniel.
So I've been keeping track of. So for everyone who didn't know, I made a post on the Meteorite Club Facebook page. I have a sample that I'm giving away with the classification included to someone who hasn't received or had their own classification in their name yet. And I've gotten a lot of comments so far. So thank you to everyone who's commented. This ends, I think, tomorrow at, I think it was 8 p.m. that I said. So I'll be taking a look through all the comments and choosing a winner. So I just wanted to say thank you again to everyone. One last little comment. I think this year, with all the samples I received from all of you, I think compared to last year in December, I hit 50 meteorites classified. Right now I'm at 119, so I think that's
woohoo!
All right,
awesome.
So I couldn't have done any of this without any of you. You know, all these samples that came in. I just wanted to say thanks to everyone. And I do have. I've been working on this article that I've been writing regarding how to perform some classification procedures, and I'm working with. Well, I don't want to spoil it yet, but when it's available, I'm sure all of you will enjoy it. So it's an article series.
Yeah.
Excellent.
Look forward to that greatly.
Daniel, thank you for that contest. That is an awesome give back to the community. I mean, that's amazing. Thank you so much.
Yeah, we totally appreciate that, and that's a great thing for someone who doesn't have a METBull entry yet. So while we're on the little charity kick, I also want to mention SLU, the organization that we've partnered with to bring professional telescope time to children in school. For $25. See, it's half price. For $25, you can sponsor a kid for a year through this program called SLOOH, SLOOH.com. And I can get, if you can contact me, you can get more information or look back 2 videos ago for astronomy program for kids. You don't have to give 25. If you can only give 5, it doesn't matter. We have a GoFundMe, or you can pay myself or Chris Colvin directly. We'll make sure 100% gets to the kids.
Great charity.
Yeah. And also, you know, through this year in 2020, I was able to partner with Grant Hartness through the study for the proliferation of. I can never remember the name of his organization. I'm so sorry, Grant. But basically it has proliferation of science and space studies or something like that. But what they do is they also give out meteorite kits to kids. They sponsor schools for 1 kilo of meteorites. The meteorites go to the school, and the kids can learn from it. And I went through my my boxes and pulled out some stuff in here that I can donate. So this is the box for Chris. As I said, I would donate some stuff. I saw Stephen Amara with Space Matter already donated, I think, 1 kilo of material as well. So it's really nice to have that partnership and everyone's collaboration. And I think with that, we can look forward to a super special 2021. Let me pause this for 1 second.
Next week, okay, bud?
Yeah, you know,
Yeah, Topher.
we're recording, so let's just let it roll. This is awesome. I was gonna sign off, and then Stephen O'Mara says I have some more in stuff, and Marco wants to see it, but you know, we're at 2 hours, and the rule of P.T. Barnum taught you, always keep them wanting more.
I
So
think Ben had a question, didn't he?
I think we got Ben's question addressed.
Oh, okay.
Did we?
No.
Oh, go for it, Ben. What was your question?
Topher, I don't know if you remember when we were in Tucson, we each bought from the same dealer a fall from Algeria, which I believe was like in May, and it was supposed to have been classified, or the classification was in the works.
Yeah.
And I was wondering if you had ever heard anything since then.
No. The one that I think that you're thinking of, if it is the one, it was not a fresh fall. Although that one does look like it's a fresh fall.
Yeah, this is pristine. It's
that may be provisional name Gadamus. Gadamus, or it's a little bit annoying that it's not published on the Met Bowl yet, because it's a very beautiful meteorite. It was a witnessed fall, but because there's no news articles or local reports about it being witnessed, the nomenclature committee, who's in charge of publishing stuff to the Met Bowl, vetting the information and then publishing it, is very hesitant to call it a confirmed fall, which kind of confuses me. Why don't they just use probable fall?
Or provisional.
You can make they even have the probable fall classification now, so they could do that, or they could, I don't know. There's a solution, but I think that's what you have there. I'll send you a picture of the one I have, and we'll see if it's the same one. Okay.
Okay.
Awesome.
Thank you.
Well, I appreciate everyone joining us for the last and final hangout of 2020. I had actually planned on doing a little sale after today, but to be honest with you, I'm tired and I want to start my weekend. I don't have anything really to do tomorrow through through Sunday night. So I'm basically going to do some meteorite stuff and relax with my wife. But I do want to have a big shout out to everyone who joins me weekly for these hangouts. They are super, super fun, super engaging, and a lot of accurate information about meteorites is being spread in a very positive and upbuilding way. So that was the goal behind this, and I am very thankful that we are ending 2020 on such a positive note on our 32nd consecutive hangout on Wednesday. We haven't missed a single one since May 26th when we started. Thank you, guys. That's truly amazing. 32 in a row. Not a single. We had one little muck up where one wasn't recorded, but whatever. So happy New Year, everyone. Thanks for joining and have a wonderful, safe New Year's night. Okay.
Thank you, Topher.
See you next week.
See you guys.
Great to see everybody.
Yeah, great to see everyone.
New Year.
Take care.
Everybody take care.
Have a happy
See you guys.
Stay safe.
Stay safe, everybody.
Buy meteorites.
Oh yeah. I do take federal subsidy checks. So when you get your subsidy check, let me know.
$2,000, you say? $2,000?